Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. Kumusta kayo? Kumusta kayong lahat? Kumusta ang mga klase ninyo? So, 508. Antayin natin konti yung mga ibang kasama nyo. Baka sila ay nagla-log-in pa. So, kindly prepare your materials for our examination. It's about combat plans and orders. Okay. Shall we start? Right. Gentlemen and ladies, bago tayo mag-start ay nais kong ipaalala sa inyo na ang ating klase na ito, online class, is just for the advanced ROTC. Kaya kung merong mga basic ROTC cadets na nakasali dito sa ating online class, ay kung pwede na kayong mag-leave muna. And meron naman kayong ibang link na ibinigay namin sa inyo para panoorin nyo yon. And this is exclusively for the advanced cadet. So we will now start, gentlemen, for the examinations on combat plans and orders. Right? So first question, ano ang meron sa orders, okay, na wala sa plans? Kapag ka yung binabanggit ko noon ay paulit-ulit na plano pa lang dahil wala pa yon, pero pagka nagkaroon na yon ay magiging order na siya. Ano yon? Ano ang meron sa orders na wala doon sa plans? O balik rin natin. Ano ang yung binabanggit ko noon na paulit-ulit na wala sa plans at pagka nagkaroon na yon ay magiging orders na siya? Right? That is number 1. Mabanggit ko lang yung isang word. One word lang yun. O kung mabigay nyo yung eksakto, kung maibigay nyo isang word, ay ayos lang, mas maganda. Para hindi kayo masyadong nahirapan. Okay? Number 2. Right? Are you ready for number 2? Number 2. Blank are based upon facts. Blank are based upon facts. Ulitin ko. Number 2, blank are based upon facts. So number 4, ang pagpipilian dito ay order or plan. Okay? Ang answer dito ay maaaring order, maaaring plan. Ito ang tanong. Provide for coordinated action required to carry out the decision of the commander for the conduct of a future, reading ko for the conduct of a future or anticipated tactical operation. What is that? Is that an order or plan? Okay, ulitin ko. Provide for a coordinate action required to carry out the decision of the commander for the conduct of a future or anticipated tactical operation. What is that? Is that an order or a plan? All right. So number 5, what are the 3 applications of plans? Kung maalala nyo yung binabanggit ko noon, yung national level, DND level, okay? Blank plan, yun yung answer. Yung unified command or division level, that is a blank plan. Yung nasa brigade or nasa battalion or nasa level natin, that is a blank plan. Okay? Applications of plans, tatlo yon. Yung national level, hanggang sa GHQ, DND, GHQ level. Yung unified command, that's also a plan. Yung ginagawa nila na plano. And for the brigade, down to the lowest unit, yan ay blank plan. Tatlo yan. Number 6. Number 6. Number 6. Give preliminary notice of an action or an order that is to follow. Usually brief oral or written messages. Give preliminary notice of an action or an order that is to follow. Okay? Yan yung pangalawa. Yun yung pangalawa ng that is a kind of orders, no? Yun yung doon sa remises natin. Yan yung pangalawa. After you receive the mission, what are you going to do immediately? Ano ang ibibigay mo kaagad sa mga subordinate leaders mo or sa mga subordinate elements? Right? Number 7. Number 7. These are usually issued as a brief oral or written messages and include only, okay, tandaan nyo ito, include only those items that represent changes to orders previously issued. Yan yung keyword niya. These are usually issued as brief oral or written messages, and include only those items that represent changes to orders previously issued. Okay? Di ba? May plano na, may buong order na siya, may operational order na, di ba? May nabago doon. Ano ang tawag natin doon kung mag-i-issue tayo ng order doon sa nabago lamang? Okay? That is number 7. Number 8. Number 8. Prescribe routine methods to be followed in operations. Prescribe routine methods to be followed in operations. So, ibig sabihin, yung laging, yes, sa John Lloyd Valdez, anything. Mabilis ba? Number 3, babalikan natin yan mamaya, John Lloyd. No? So, number 3, blank. Balikan natin para pagbigyan natin ito si John Lloyd Valdez. Anong unit ka, John Lloyd? Okay. Number 3, blank are from assumptions. Okay? Blank are from assumptions. That is the number 3. All right, number 8. Okay na ba, John Lloyd? Yeah, John Lloyd Valdez. Okay na ba? Number 8. Prescribe routine methods to be followed in operations. Prescribe routine methods to be followed in operations. Okay? Anong tawag doon? Para bigyan ko kayo ng hint. Standing blank blank. Yon. Yun. Routine na siya, routine. Talagang ito na yung ginagamit natin lagi. Okay? Number 9. Give at least one characteristics of good combat orders. Okay? Give at least one characteristics of good combat orders. All right? Mamaya nagkawili, Eugene. Okay? Nalit ka siguro. Mamaya na ha. Tapusin muna natin ito. Give at least one characteristics of good combat orders. Right? So, nakuha na. Last number. Number 10. In these characteristics of good combat orders, In these characteristics of good combat orders, unnecessary detail is avoided. Clarity and completeness are not sacrificed in the interest of blank. Ano yun? Unnecessary detail is avoided. Clarity and completeness are not sacrificed in the interest of blank. Yan ay isang characteristics of good combat orders. Alright? So, kung ito ang sagot nyo sa ito, hindi na po pwedeng isagot sa number 9 yon. Except this one. So marami yon. Marami yung characteristics of good combat order. So, itong number 10 ay hindi nyo na pwedeng isagot doon sa number 9. Alright? So, number 1, for the sake of Cadet Eugene Agkawili, ano ang meron sa orders na wala sa plans? Okay? O balik rin natin. Ano ang wala sa plans na meron sa orders? Yung binabanggit natin na ito ay kung plano pa lang at nagkaroon na ito ay magiging orders na siya. Inuulit-ulit ko yung kagabi. So, any more? Okay? Any more questions? I will give you 1 minute. Alright? So, gentlemen, dapat yung mga gentlemen and ladies, dapat yung mga answers nyo ay maibigay nyo na kaagad after ng ating exams, no? At bago magtapos ng ating klase. Dapat yung mga exams natin ay naipasa nyo na. Walang reason na hindi nyo maipasa. Okay? So nag-aabang ngayon yung ating mga NCOs para doon sa ipapasa yung mga exams sa mga answers nyo. So, nabigyan ko na kayo ng instructions para doon sa pagpapasaan yung email address. Alright? So, another 1 minute. Oh, sige. Last na ito BJ Mandehar. Last na yan. Magtanong ng maulit. Okay? Provide for coordinated action required to carry out the decision of the commander for the conduct of a future or anticipated tactical operation. Yan yung keyword. Conduct of a future or anticipated tactical operation. Okay na ba, BJ? So that is the last na tanong ninyo about sa uulitin natin itong mga questions. Right? So anything for the sake of mga hindi nakahabol. Right? I will give you another 30 seconds. So at exactly 5:36, we will start the class, gentlemen. Number 2, okay. Blank are based upon facts, okay? Blank are based upon facts. Number two is blank are based upon facts. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, pass your paper. Okay? Sabi nga sa amin doon finished or unfinished, pass your paper. Paki-comment nyo kung malinaw yung aking audio. So, gentlemen and ladies, our subject is Army operations. The objectives on this subject, determining the determinal learning objective or the TLO. At the end of this topic, the students should be able to explain the principles of Army operations and the elements of the Army power. Enabling learning objectives. At the end of the lecture, the students shall be able to define principles of Army operations, discuss the 12 principles of Army operations, and discuss the elements of Army power. Our references is the PAM, the Training on Doctrine Command, Philippine Army Manual 3-00, Army Operations Manual. And our scopes, or the outline of presentation or is number one, legal basis of Philippine Army operations. Number two, Army operational platform. Number three, elements of full spectrum operations. Number four, tenets of Army operations. Number five, elements of Army power. And the last one is principle of Army operations. The legal basis of Philippine Army operations is the Article 2 is stated in 1987 Constitution. The Armed Forces of the Philippines is the protector of the people and the state. Its goal is to serve, or its goal is to secure the sovereignty of the state and the integrity of the national territory. Army operational platforms. The number one is multinational or combined operations conducted within the structure of an alliance or a coalition. So ito yung multinational or combined operations, kung meron na tayong mga kaalyadong mga bansa, okay, ibang bansa na kasama na nating nag-ooperate, just like the Balikatan. So yun yung mga samples of the multinational or combined operations. The number two Army operational platforms is joint operations. Involve forces of two or more services under a single commander. So joint operations, kagaya ng yung Northern Luzon Command, kasi they are employing the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy components of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Kung magpapa-operate sila, meron siyang Air Force na sumusuporta sa mga infantry units natin, sa mga Army units natin. That is joint operations. Okay? Combined arms. Tandaan nyo baka malito kayo dun sa number one. Number one is multinational or combined operations. Ito naman, number three is combined arms. The synchronized or simultaneous application of several Army-specific arms, such as infantry, armor, field artillery, yung mga kanyon, mga kanyonero, the engineers, and the aviation. Kasi meron tayong sariling aviation battalion. Pero under yan ng mechanized infantry division. Alright? So, yung armor, yan yung mga mechanized. Okay? Kung meron ng infantry at saka mga tangke, kadalasan ito yung ginagawa natin dahil may mga tangke, may mga artillery tayo, lumilipad yung eroplano ng aviation battalion para mag-conduct ng recon or surveillance, that is combined arms. Combined arms is to achieve an effect on the enemy that is greater than if each arm was used against the enemy separately or in sequence. All right? Okay? That is combined arms. The elements of full spectrum operations. Ito yung mga elements ng full spectrum operations. Number 1, the offensive operations, defensive operations, support to civil governance. So tatlo yan, tandaan nyo mabuti. The elements of full spectrum operations are offensive operations, defensive operations, and support to civil governance. Elements of full spectrum operations. Number 1 is offensive operation, di ba? What is offensive operations? The offensive operations is combat operations conducted to defeat and destroy enemy forces and seize terrain, resources, and population centers. All right? So, ang offensive operation is a combat operations to be conducted by a certain unit to defeat and destroy the enemy forces. That is offensive operations. Pag-opensa, okay? Kapag nag-ooperate tayo, that is offensive operations. Offensive operations, kapag nag-ooperate kami towards an enemy camp, towards a reported enemy camps, that is offensive operations. What are the tasks? What are the primary offensive tasks under offensive operations? Number 1, movement to contact. Movement to contact, okay? Attack, that is number 2, attack. Exploitation, that is number 3. Number 4 is strike. Number 5 is pursuit. Okay? Yun yung mga primary offensive task niya. Movement to contact. Okay? The troops is going to move towards the enemy para magkakaroon siya ng tinatawag na movement to contact. Contact is kapag napalagkaroon na ng ang tinatawag na contact dito, hindi yung contact na parang contact number ng mga kaibigan ninyo, hindi ganon. Nagkakaroon kami ng contact sa aking kaibigan sa pamamagitan ng cellphone. Hindi yon ang pinag-uusapan dito. Movement to contact. Kapag ka nag-ooperate at nagkaroon ng bakbakan, putukan, that is movement, that is contact na tinatawag. So, that yung isang primary offensive task is movement to contact. Yung attack, yung pag-atake. Exploitation, that is to exploit yung mga enemies. Strike operations. Yeah? Yan yung mga tinatawag natin. Attack operations, exploitation, strike operation. Yung strike operation is yung panandalian lang na operations to. Mabilisan lang. Hit the target and then move out. Ang pursuit operation naman, kapag napalaban tayo at tumakbo yung kalaban, we are going to pursue them. So magkakaroon ka ng pursuit operations. Sinusundan mo sila. Kaya nga kung naririnig yung mga interview ng mga pulis. So we are still having our pursuit operations against the perpetrators. Yan yung mga pinabanggit nila. The number 2 elements of full spectrum operations is defensive operations. Combat operations conducted to defeat an enemy attack, gain time, economize force, and develop conditions favorable for offensive or support to civil governance operations. Defensive operations. Okay? Nagdedepensa tayo. Combat operations conducted to defeat. Siyempre, nagdepensa tayo to defeat an enemy attack. Kapag umaatake yung kalaban, halimbawa umaatake yung kalaban, so magkakaroon tayo ng defensive operations. Okay? Okay? Mamaya, ano ba yung mga iba't ibang klase ng defensive operations? Sasabihin ko. So, ano pa? To gain time. Sige, naka-defensive operation tayo para nagkakaroon tayo ng, dinedelay natin siya to gain time para makareact yung other components, other forces, other friendly forces. Okay? And economize the forces. Kinakailangan i-economize natin yung forces natin. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng defensive operations and develop conditions favorable for offensive. So, nagdedepensa tayo para makapag-develop tayo ng conditions ng pagkakataon na tayo ay makapag-opensa kapag humina sila or whatsoever na makita natin na makasilip tayo ng katiting na pagkakataon para mag-opensa tayo. And to support to civil governance operations. Defensive operations, meron tayong tinatawag na defensive operations. Mobile defense. Pangalawa is the area defense at yung retrograde. Alright? So, mamaya, lilinawin natin what are these. Yung mobile defense is dumidepensa siya pero nagmo-move pa rin siya. Nagmo-move. Hindi yung static siya. Yung area defense is pangmalakihan. Halimbawa, yung buong Ilocosur, dedepensahan natin yung buong Ilocosur. Okay? Yung ating ginagawa ng ating mga reservists, Raid Reserve Infantry Battalion, that is already a part of area defense. So nagdedepensa tayo sa isang buong probinsya, that is area defense. Yung retrograde naman is yung nagkakaroon tayo ng detached to contact. So, umaatras tayo. That is defense. Pero, umaatras tayo ng unti-unti. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na natakot tayo o naduwag tayo. So, maraming dahilan kung bakit tayo umaatras. No? Baka umaatras tayo to gain time, o kaya nagpapalakas tayo, o kaya umaatras tayo para pupunta tayo doon sa mas magandang lugar o isang terrain na favorable sa atin, and then makapag-reorganize tayo, baka may kakalink up tayo doon sa area na yun, lumakas tayo, saka tayo aatake. Kaya binanggit niya rito na to develop conditions favorable for offensive operations. The number 3, ito'y bago kasi ito. Number 3, the last element of full spectrum operations is support to civil governance operations. Encompasses various military missions, tasks, and activities conducted in coordination with other instruments of national power to maintain or reestablish a safe and secure environment. Ito yung ginagawa natin lagi. Support to civil governance operations. Yung mga ginagawa ng civil military operations, that is a part of civil governance, support to civil governance operations. Yung support ng armed forces ng Philippine Army, the zone sa PNP, yung LESO, law enforcement support operation that is a part of support to civil governance operations. Alright? So, nandito, yung counterinsurgency operations, that is a part, yung ginagawa natin. Peace operations, okay, kasama natin yung PNP or mga CAFGO or yung mga barangay officials or LGUs. Yung ating ginagawang disaster response operations, that's a part of support to civil governance operations. The civil populations and vital installations security operations. Alright? Kapag merong mga vital installations, yung mga pinagkukunan natin ng malalaking volume ng tubig, ng kuryente, those are vital installations. Yung mga communications installations natin, tumutulong tayo for their security. Yun yung binanggit ko kanina, yung law enforcement support operations, LESO. Support to community development operations. Yung community development, tumutulong tayo dyan. Yung ginawa natin doon sa Santa Maria, Ilocosur, na tumulong tayo sa pagpapatayo ng bahay para sa mga nabiktima ng typhoon. Support to environmental protection and development operations, yung pagiging green soldiers natin o green army natin, yung pagtatanim natin ng mga halaman at mga punong kahoy, yung ating mga support to environment protection and development operations and non-critical support operations. These are the tenets of Army operations. Okay? So, initiative, these are the tenets. No? Tandaan nyo mabuti. 5 tenets ng Army operations. Merong 5. Yung acronym dito is IADSB. IADSV. Okay? IADSV. Initiative. Di ba? Kaya nga, nabanggit ko kahapon yung initiative. So, initiative, use your initiative to conduct dapat meron kang initiative lagi in conducting an army operations. Any kind of forms of operations mo gagamitin nyo, dapat magkakaroon ka ng initiative. Agility, depth, synchronization, and versatility. Yan yung mga 5 tenets of Army operations. So, ipapaliwanag natin mabuti ng mga tenets of Army operations. Initiative, setting or dictating the terms of battle by action. Setting or dictating the terms of battle by actions. The goal, creation. What are the goals? Ito yung goals niya sa initiative. Creation of a fluid situation in which the enemy loses control of events. During offensive operations, taking the flight to the enemy and never allowing them to recover from initial shock of the attack. That is a part of initiative. During defensive operations, preventing the enemy from achieving success and counter-attacking to seize the initiative. Okay? Yung during offensive operations, yun yung binabanggit natin na pagka nakita natin na tamaan natin sila, natamaan na natin yung kanilang lakas, okay? So tuloy-tuloy yan. Talagang dire-diretso yung ating operations, yung offensive operations natin para hindi na sila makarecover. Oh. Okay? And then during defensive operations naman, yung preventing the enemy from achieving success and counter-attacking to seize the initiative. Dapat magka-counter-attack tayo. that is initiative, to seize the initiative, okay? Break the enemy's will through relentless pressure. Dapat ah, dapat sisirain natin yung will ng ating mga kalaban, okay? Through relentless pressure. Dapat pe-pressure natin sila. It's offensive operations or anything na nakaka-pressure sa kalaban. Number 2 is agility. The ability of a force to act faster than the enemy. Agility, dapat mabilis ang galaw. Di ba? Sinasabi ko lagi, dapat mabilis ang galaw. Maliksi ang galaw. Yan, agility. Kasi kung pabagal-bagal, hindi ka maliksi, ay aabutan ka ng kalaban, sabi nga nila. Agility requires creatively applied doctrine, quickly comprehend unfamiliar situations. Dapat mabilis mong i-comprehend yung mga hindi familiar sa iyo na mga situations. Kinakailangan magkaroon ka ng timely decisions. Units physically and psychologically capable of rapid reorientation and movement. Rapid siya, reorientation and movement. Bakit sinabi niyang make timely decisions? Kasi kapag merong agility, maliksi, dapat pati pag-iisip, pagbibigay ng decision, dapat mabilis, maliksi. Para hindi makareact yung mga kalaban natin. Units physically and psychologically capable of rapid reorientation and movement, di ba? Dapat mabilisan. The goal, repeated concentration. The goal of the agility is repeated concentration of friendly strength against enemy weakness. Yan. Kapag nakita mo na mahina pala ito sa 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 public affairs, ang mga kalaban natin mahina sa public affairs, di ulit-ulitin mo doon. Bugbugin ng public affairs yung kalaban mo. Mahina sila sa psychological operations, bugbugin mo ng bugbugin. Mahina sila ng intelligence, bugbugin mo ng bugbugin sa intelligence. The number three tenet of army operations is depth. Depth. Yung lalim. The extension of operations in space, time, purpose, and resources. Depth requires fight the enemy throughout the depth of his disposition. Dapat susukatin mo talagang lalabanan mo hanggang doon sa pinakamalalim na disposition ng kalaban. Adjust main effort to exploit opportunities. Kinakailangan mong i-adjust yung main effort mo to exploit yung opportunities, gawin mo yon. Attack of uncommitted enemy forces and support facilities. So, para magkaroon ka ng depth operations, you need to attack of uncommitted enemy forces and support facilities. Retention of effective reserves. Diba? Kinakailangan i-retention mo yung effective reserves mo para sa depth operations. Aggressive projection of the current battle into enemy's rear areas. Kinakailangan yung aggressive projection mo doon sa kasalukuyan na gyera ninyo sa likuran ng mga kaaway doon sa likod. Bakit? Kasi mas mahina sila sa likod. Continuity of sustainment. Dapat may sustainment siya. Dapat tuloy-tuloy. The goal of depth is maintain momentum in the attack and the elasticity in the defense. Number 4. After number 5 of tenets army operations, medyo mag-break tayo ng konti. Alright? Synchronizations. The arrangement of battlefield activities in time and space to mass at the decisive point. Synchronization is the arrangement of battlefield activities in time and space to mass at the decisive point. Synchronization requires understanding of the complementary and reinforcing effects of combined arms. Complementary and reinforcing effects of combined arms. Combined arms. Combined arms, ha? Hindi combined operations. You must understand that. Knowledge of enemy capabilities and vulnerabilities. Kinakailangan magkaroon ka ng idea, magkaroon ka ng kaalaman about yung enemy capabilities mo. Ano ba yung mga lakas nila? Ano ba ang kakayanan nila? At ano naman ang kanilang kahinaan? Ano naman yung kanilang vulnerabilities? Dapat inaalam natin yon. Siyempre, ganoon din yung sa sarili natin, di ba? So knowledge of enemy capabilities and vulnerabilities is very important in the synchronization of under tenets of army operations. Careful and complete planning and coordination. Dapat maingat ka at kumpleto ang pagpaplano mo at mga coordinations na ginagawa mo. That is synchronization. Kaya nga sinisynchronize mo lahat ng mga pangyayari, mga plano, mga equipment, at mga iba't iba pang mga bagay sa pakikipagdigma. Mastery of time-space relationship. Dapat mamaster mo yung time and space. Kasi baka mamaya, nagpo-focus ka lang sa time. Hindi mo na tinitignan yung space. So, kailangan the mastery of time-space relationship. So, magkakaroon dapat ng continuity of sustainment. Dapat sustain. The goal of synchronizations under tenets of Army operations is every asset used at the decisive time and place. Dapat yung every asset mo, hindi yung makaisip ka, papuntahin mo yung sasakyan doon, gawin mo kaagad. Dapat sinisynchronize mo. And even in your daily life and their daily routine, gentlemen, dapat sinisynchronize mo. Yung mga pupuntahan mo, mga gagawin mo sa araw-araw para magiging maayos ang lahat. Hindi yung naisip mo punta ka dito sa isang lugar, mamaya pupunta ka na naman dito sa isang lugar, mamaya babalik ka na naman malapit dito sa pinanggalingan mo. So dapat sinusynchronize mo lahat. Okay? The last one is the versatility. The last tenets of Army operation is versatility. Diba? Tama ba? Versatility, the ability of Army forces to meet diverse mission requirements. That is versatility. That kailangan versatile siya. Versatility defense, adaptive leaders. Dapat yung leaders, kung ano yung nakita niya sa pagkakataon na yun, adaptive siya. Hindi yung, wala sa policy ito, sir. Wala sa Republic Act 7077, pero meron sa NSTP law. So, kailangan adaptive ka. Adaptive ka. Wala doon sa dalawa, pero gustong manggawin ito ng ating school at hindi naman, wala naman siyang nababiolate sa ating mga policies. You must be adaptive. And the versatility must be competent and dedicated soldiers. Okay? Kinakailangan yung sundalo mo, competent siya and dedicated siya. And well-equipped inputs. The goal of versatility is flexible transition from one type of mission to another. Dapat versatile ka. From one type of mission to another. Kasi sa ating organization, bibigyan ka ng isang mission. Tapos hindi mo pa natatapos yung mission mong isa. Meron na naman yung darating na isa. So you must be versatile. That is the goal. Okay? So, let's have a break. 2 to 3 minutes maybe. Right, we shall continue. What is army power? Right? Army power is the summation of potency that any total army force generates. Yung total army na binabanggit, kasama na dito yung reserve force na magiging na kabilang kayo sa reserve force. Consists of 8 warfighting functions tied together by leadership and enhanced by information. The total means of destructive, constructive, and information capabilities that a military unit formation can apply at a given time. That is the army power. What are the elements of army power? So we have uh, the uh, the leadership. Okay, so ang leadership dapat meron siyang movement and maneuver, fires, information operations, protection, command and control, sustainment, civil military operations, and intelligence. So, pagka meron ka nito, dapat meron din siyang nakapalibot na informations. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Nakamute. So, balik tayo. Elements of army power. Leadership. The process of influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation while operating to accomplish the mission and improving the organization. Leadership, the multiplying and unifying element of army power. So kinakailangan may leadership para mag-unify lahat ng mga army powers, no? So often the difference between success and failure. Sabi ng ibang Amerikano, pag bigkas nila dito, often. Okay? So, iba-iba yung pronunciation. Kaya minsan, nagbanggit ako ng often. Okay? Medyo may tumawa. But doon sa US, nung nag-aral ako doon, ng civic military coordination, yung kadalasan na pagbanggit nila dito sa often, yung is often. Okay? So, kanya-kanyang pronunciation. Pero mayroon din nagbabanggit na often. The elements of army power. Information. Okay? Right? Information is lethal action in determining outcome of operations. It is a weapon against enemies' command and control and is a means to affect enemy morale. So yung information. Kaya yun yung trabaho namin as a spokesperson noon, as public information officer, as the public affairs officer, yun yung mga trabaho namin. Kaya nagbibigay kami ng impormasyon sa ating mga kababayan through the multimedia, no? Ngayon, dahil meron na tayong social media, yung informations is everywhere na. At the tip of our finger, at our fingertip, meron na siyang information. Accessible na yung information natin, na which is napakahalaga sa larangan ng pakikidigma ang information. Kasi nakaka-apekto ito sa moral. Okay na ba? Meron na ba akong audio? Sa moral ng mga kalaban. Okay? At nagpapahina sa will ng mga commanders nila. But, take note, information is both destructive and constructive. Okay? Destructive in the way na baka ang pinapakinggan natin ay yung public information ng ating mga kalaban. Okay? O kaya, baka magkamali tayo ng sinasabi during our interviews. Kaya napaka-sensitibo ang buhay ng isang spokesperson. No? Kasi dapat isipin mo mabuti, dapat naka-align yung level of thinking mo. Kung yung boss mo ay 3-star general, dapat ganun din yung level of information na kaalam-alam mo. Para pagka pa-interview ka ng media, ay hindi ka magkamali. Kasi pag once na nagkamali ka, destructive yan. But, tandaan natin, huwag tayong matakot na gumamit ng information because yan ay magiging constructive din kapag maayos yung ating paggamit sa information. Another elements of army power is war fighting function. Group of tasks and system, that's people, organization, information, and processes united by a common purpose that commanders use to accomplish missions, and training objectives. These are the following, right? Yung fighting functions natin. Yung binanggit ko kanina is war-fighting functions. These are the following: movement and maneuver, intelligence, fires, civil military operations, information operations, sustainment, command and control, and protection. Elements of army power. Ito na yan, dun sa war-fighting functions. Movement and maneuver. What is movement and maneuver? The related tasks and system that move forces to achieve a position of advantage in relation to the enemy. Include tasks associated with force, projection related to gaining a positional advantage over an enemy. That is movement and maneuver. Dapat mag-move ka, mag-maneuver ka para makakuha ka ng advantage position or maka-gain ka ng positional advantage over an enemy, against the enemy. Does not include administrative movements of personnel and material. Yung administrative movement, yung pagbiyahe ng mga logistics, that is not part of movement and maneuver. Movement and maneuver is purely under the war fighting. Elements of army power is the intelligence. Intelligence, the related tasks and system that facilitated understanding of the operational environment. Enemy, di ba nabanggit natin yan? Yung METTC factor, terrain and civil considerations. Includes tasks associated with intelligence, surveillance. Dapat nagkakaroon ng surveillance. and reconnaissance. Di ba? Nagbanggit tayo doon sa remises, magkakaroon conduct reconnaissance, and is driven by a commander. Commanders, driven. Okay? Fires, elements, the fires, the related tasks and systems that provides collective and coordinated use of Army indirect fires. Paggamit natin ng mortar, artillery, support fires from the Air Force. Oh, yan yung tinatawag nating fires, indirect fires, joint fires, and command and control warfare, including non-lethal fires through the targeting process. Fires includes tasks associated with integrating and synchronizing. In-integrate mo and sinusynchronize mo lahat ng mga effects of those types of fires and command and control warfares. So fires is, meron tayong mga interdiction, gano'n. So sa susunod, pag-aaralan natin mabuti mga yan. Civil military operations, planned activities. Tandaan niyo planned activities. Hindi yung naisip mo, gawin mo na, nag-CMO ako. Hindi yun ganun. Kasi I am a CMO officer, gentleman. Matagal ako sa CMO. Matagal din ako sa intelligence, and matagal din ako sa infantry operations. So, pero sa mga logistics, admin, medyo hindi ako masyado dyan. So, more on triad ako. Yung triad operations na sinasabi. Ito yung pinaka mga mahihirap na trabaho sa Army. Triad operations. Intel operations and CMO. So, lahat yan, naikutan ko lahat yan. What is CMO? Planned activities, tandaan nyo, plinano, undertaken independently or in coordination with civil entities. Kung pwedeng gawin ng ating grupo, pero yung ginagawa natin, like for example, yung ginawa natin doon sa pagpapatayo ng bahay sa mga victims ng typhoon. So, pinagtulungan natin ng ISPSC and other activities that is a part of CMO. Why we are doing CMO? Because we are doing CMO to gain popular support and weaken the will of the enemy to fight. So, kinakailangan mag-gain natin yung suporta ng ating mga kababayan. Kapag na-gain natin yung suporta, humihina yung dibdib ng mga kalaban natin. Okay? Information operation. Ito yung medyo masalimuot ito. Alam ko na kapag hindi nyo maintindihan ang information operations is naiintindihan ko at nauunawaan ko kayo. Sapagkat marami ding mga officers ang hindi nakakaintindi dito, kahit mga senior officers. Lagi akong nagle-lecture ito kahit sa mga conferences namin, even dun sa GHQ level. Hindi nila maintindihan yung information operation. What is information operation? The integrated and synchronized use of selected military and non-military capabilities. Okay? To effect friendly, neutral, and adversarial. Okay? So, for friendly, for the good, neutral, para yung mga neutral, kapag meron tayong information operations, baka lilipat sila sa atin kapag maganda yung information. Papabor sila sa atin, I mean. Parang eleksyon yan, na kung sino yung ibubuto, wala pa siyang ibubuto. Ito, halimbawa, ito kay Mayor A, ito yung Mayor B. Okay. Meron neutral. So, pinag-aagawan yung neutral. Yan. So, that is information operations. Sustainment. The part of the related tasks and systems that provide support and services to ensure freedom of action, extend operational reach, and prolong endurance. That is sustainment. Dapat na-prolong mo yung endurance ng operations mo. So, nagre-resupply ka sa mga nag-ooperate. Yung mga yung mga nagkakasakit, kinakailangan pagamot mo sila. Determines the depth and durations of Army operations. Command and control. Isa sa mga importante. Dapat may command and control. The related tasks and systems that support commanders in exercising authority and directions. Includes those tasks associated with acquiring friendly information, managing relevant information, and directing and leading subordinates. So command and control. Sa CDC, may command and control. And that's yung nagko-command and control is the head is ako as a director and my staff that is part of command and control. Nagbibigay kami ng command, kinokontrol namin lahat ng mga operations natin diyan. Protection. The related tasks and systems that preserve the forces so the commander can apply maximum Army power. Facilitates the commander's ability to maintain the force integrity and Army power. Protection. Kailangan may protection. Ano ba yung protection? Yung counterintelligence. Marami tayong ginagamit na force protection. Yan tawag natin force protection. Okay? So, gentlemen and ladies, medyo mahaba pa ito kaya hahatiin natin yung Army operations. So hanggang dito muna tayo sa elements of Army power. Tomorrow, magkakaroon tayo siguro ng 30 minutes, another 30 minutes lang actually. Would you suggest anong time? Tapos i-examine na natin yung military justice system bukas. Mag-exam muna tayo ng military justice system. And then, kasi yun na lang yung natitirang subject nyo na hindi pa natapos na exam. Para pagkatapos, halos malapit na tayong matapos, gentlemen. Marami na tayong natapos. So, ang magiging kulang na lang natin ay yung mga ibang mga kailangan na face-to-face. So, pati na itong military stakes. Magkakaroon tayo ng military stakes na base dun sa mga natutunan ninyo. So, gentlemen and ladies, paki-comment nyo kung anong oras kayo po pwede bukas. 30 minutes lang naman. So, I think wala nang 30 minutes ito. So, mga 20 minutes lang ito. So, 10 minutes yung exam ninyo. So, yeah, 30 minutes lang lahat. Kasi medyo mahaba po ito, gentlemen. Ayoko naman na bugbugin ko kayo kaagad ng napakaraming kasi dapat maintindihan nyo itong Philippine Army operations and the elements or the principle of Army operations. So principles of Army operations na lang tayo bukas pero mahaba kasi ito. Kaya baka magka-halo-halo yung mga natutunan nyo. So tomorrow, we will have our part 2 for the Army operations. So pag-aaralan na natin itong principles of Army operations. Gentlemen, walang gustong magsabi kung anong oras. So, alright. Ganito na lang. Bukas, magla-live ako ng 5 o'clock. So, we will give you another considerations. Sir, my final exam po ang 6 p.m. to 7:30. Alright. Sige. So, ano ang oras ang pwede? Ganito na lang, ha? May link naman na ibibigay sa inyo. So, yung makaka-attend bukas ng 5 p.m. or earlier, so, will attend, no? Ngayon, hindi ko naman kayo i-required na yung exam is pare-parehas yung wag lang kayo magkopyahan, okay? So, be honest, wag kayo magkopyahan. So, ang gagawin natin, kaya hindi na ako nagpo-post dyan para hindi nyo pa, kaya makinig kayo ng mabuti. So, 6 p.m. Alright, 7 p.m. pwede naman. 7 p.m. 7 to 7:30. Right? Or 7:30 to 8. Pwede rin. Pero yung iba na hindi maka-attend bukas ng live, may link naman. So, pwede nyo namang panoorin and then saka kayo mag-exam. Basta ang exam bukas ng Military Justice System is pinaka-late, hindi na dapat umabot ng 10 p.m. 10 p.m. sarado na yung pagpapasa ng exam. 10 p.m. bukas. Beyond ng 10 p.m. na hindi makapasa ay hindi na siya considered as examination. Yung mga beyond, magkakaroon na, explain nyo na kung bakit beyond 10 p.m. bukas na yung submission nyo ng exam ng Military Justice System. Okay? So, bukas, 6 p.m. pa rin. 6 p.m. na lang. Para yung iba ay mapanood na lang ng yung link. No? Kasi meron naman tayong link, pwede nyo namang panoorin. Yung Military Justice System na link, gentlemen, nandyan naman, pwede kayong humingi. Pwede kayong humingi sa mga NCOs ninyo or graduate military assistants ninyo. Kapag hindi kayo bigyan, ay ibanggitin nyo sa akin kung sino ang sinabihan nyo at hindi sila nagbibigay ng link para ma-review nyo. Pwede naman kayo mag-review. Okay? Through yung link na yon. Okay, gentlemen? Yeah, same times po, sir. 5 o'clock? Okay, sige, 5 o'clock. Then, bahala na kayo kung anong oras yung papanoorin o anong oras kayo mag-e-exam. Okay? So, 5 o'clock. Alright? So, gentlemen and ladies, kasi kaya tumitingin ako sa oras dahil ayaw ko na masyado kayong mabugbog na maraming informations. No? Kasi alam ko na maghapon kayo nagklase. Maraming salamat, gentlemen and ladies. Pagtiyagaan nyo na lang. Malapit nang matapos itong klase ninyo. Marapit na. Kukunti na lang yung mga subjects ninyo. So hopefully, by Saturday ay talagang pagbalik natin after break ay yung military stakes na lang yung gagawin natin. At yung mga iba pang mga kailangan ng face-to-face. Kaya hindi naman pwedeng online tayo dun sa basic swimming at saka itong mga military stakes. Kailangan kailangan na face-to-face. Alright, maraming salamat sa inyo, gentlemen and ladies. Mabuhay kayong lahat, mag-ingat kayo. And lagi kong sinasabi sa inyo na mag-aral kayo mabuti. Thank you very much.